Damn!
Today's tune is possibly the best car added in the 1.2 update, the 92 Jaguar XJ220. This car is available at the legendary dealership, so it'll cycle in and out. This car is a high note for me with the latest update. I built a few different tunes for it, but really enjoyed it at both the 600 performance points and the 700 performance points level. This video is going to cover the 600 performance points tune specifically built for Tokyo. I'll talk about its pros and cons, and I'll cover off some details about the car that you might not be aware of. This car is really versatile and can hold its own at multiple performance levels. Stock, it comes in just under the 600 performance points levels, so with just minimal adjustments you can tune it up to compete. The car stock is alright. I found the steering somewhat loose and non-responsive, and the car didn't enter and exit the corners the way I wanted. That being said, one thing the stock car does incredibly well is maintain stability at high speeds. This car is pretty much built to be a straight line missile, so with some tuning we can keep the high end speed and give it the agility you're going to want on a track like Tokyo. In order to help with handling, a bunch of additional work was done on the aero, and some gearing was adjusted to maintain that top line speed down the straight. But aside from suspension and aero work, the car really didn't need that much more. The car is a fun ride, it sounds fairly unique, and it's a good addition to the game. The value for the dollar on this particular car is great as well. I have multiple in my garage to compete at different levels, which isn't bad considering you can earn back the cost of the car in a single race. To be honest, I was a bit surprised the car didn't cost more. It seems like a bargain. It's a nice balance of power and fun as you toss it around the track. I've tested this setup on also multiple 600 performance points race, and it dominates in all. In terms of fuel economy, it's well above average, which means you've got better longevity on the track and you have more options to run to the race to your preference. So for Tokyo, I was running a single pit strategy, taking it easy on the wet track on laps 1 and 2, and from there on out the car handles great on the sweeping corners. I've posted one of my best lap times in this car at 2:09, which puts this car on parity with my Viper or Mini tunes for the Tokyo track. One great thing I love about the car is that I didn't expect it to be dominant on Tokyo, but it is actually great. That high-end speed is just perfect for the long straight, and it means you'll gain time on every lap. And again, this isn't a glitch build, it works on a legitimate race. This tune allows you to carve corners with ease and push it hard on the final straight. So again, this tune will be focused on 600 performance points and specifically geared for the Tokyo straight, but I've run it in all events and it's more than capable. All in all, great addition to the game, unique design and engine note, and something that just works well at multiple levels. I wouldn't hesitate to pick this one up. A bit more about the XJ220, in 1988 a prototype, of which was a super sports machine at the British International Motor Show that was called the XJ220. Then in 1991, the final production version was unveiled at the Tokyo Motor Show. The XJ220 gets its name from its maximum speed, which at the time of production was 220 miles per hour. At the time, it was the highest for a commercially available car. The prototype engine was a naturally aspirated V12, but the production version came with a twin-turbo, 3.5-liter V6 engine, pulled from the XJR11 Group C car. It's a midship layout with 515 horsepower available stock. The chassis on the car was unique. It was crafted from composite aluminum honeycomb and carbon Kevlar, not unlike that of a serious race car. Under the body, a panel that enhanced the ground effect was again added, similar to a Group C race car. But setting the car apart from the racing machine was a luxurious interior that was finished with materials similar to Jaguar road cars. A cool fact about the car is that in 1993, Jaguar entered the XJ220 in the GT class of the 24 Hours of Le Mans. It successfully completed the endurance race and got its win in its class, but a month later the XJ220 was disqualified due to an exhaust violation, so the win was removed from the books. The car did go on to compete in GT races, including Le Mans, under the Chamberlain race team, so it does have some racing pedigree and kind of a cool history to the overall car. So let's talk about performance. As mentioned, I've targeted this car to 600 performance points and focused it on Tokyo. This tune is versatile, it'll work on nearly any track. Once you have the suspension tune, you can easily adjust tire selection and engine output to get it to qualify for nearly any race. So for this build, horsepower increases to 520, max torque is slightly detuned to 467, weight remains stock at 3,025 pounds, and it's got a 42/58 front-rear weight balance. Acceleration, top speed, and cornering are all dramatically improved. For the performance parts, the car maintains a Type B front and rear spoiler from GT Auto. It's got sports hard tires. It's got a fully customized suspension. I left it with the stock differential. It's got a full control computer, a power restrictor and a ballast, a fully customized racing transmission, and racing components including an air filter, muffler, brakes and pads, and a brake balance controller. This tune conveniently also has no permanent upgrades, so if you prefer not to touch your legendary cars or adjust them much from stock, this is a great build for you. So in terms of adjustments, the bulk of this work in this tune goes into the suspension, making the car much more responsive. I've adjusted the ride height a bit, I've raised the rear slightly, I tightened the suspension, adjusted the camber, and reworked the natural frequency. This to me made it feel much more stable on corners. The problem I had with the stock car is that it was a brick. You really had to work to get it to commit and hold traction. This suspension helps dramatically. I've also increased the downforce, mostly to game the PP rating so we can focus on barely reducing the engine output. The advantage here is that Tokyo is a technical track, so that extra downforce really helps you toss the car into corners and maintain control at higher speeds overall. There are slight detunes on the power output, but you're still well ahead of the stock car on this tune, and it can easily hit 190 miles per hour on the straight. I think I've had it up to 194, which for this track is more than enough to take the lead and gain considerable time against the rest of the pack. Overall, the car is solid, it's much better than I expected, and it doesn't feel like you're driving a car that's like 30 years old. This is a great road car with some of the performance of a race car, and overall just a blast to drive. For about $650K, you can get a nimble car usable on multiple levels. The car could easily be a daily grinder if you like it, or if you want something new to mess around with for getting credits. For the race strategy at Tokyo, this car is super easy. Fuel mapping can be set at 1 for the entire race, meaning you can go full out. You'll be in first position after a few laps, and you'll easily hold that through to the end of the race. I ended up with a time of just over 27 minutes for this race, with a couple wall rubs, making this car one of the better Tokyo performing cars. It also posted my best lap at 2:09. This does make it one of the better grinding cars in game. Not only does it have the power and acceleration of any other GT car, it can hold them at arm's length, but it does it with decent fuel economy. This is one of the cars you really don't need to worry much about tire wear, just watch your fuel levels and pit accordingly. It's kind of an odd choice, as looking at the XJ220, you wouldn't think it would be great on most tracks, but it is formable in tune. The car is available for the Legendary dealership around $650,000. It's a bargain, well worth the price. Pick this one up immediately, you won't regret it. You can easily earn back that money with this tune within a single race. So in terms of livery, this one is my own. It's public and you can edit it if you want. I've modeled it after my channel colors and added some custom badging as well, but feel free to change up the design if you like it, or keep it as is. I hope you enjoy this tune and it finds a spot in your garage. If you like these tunes, please like and comment below. It greatly helps with my channel growth on YouTube, and it helps let me know what you guys enjoy. If you're looking to connect with others around gaming in general, feel free to join our Discord. It's got great info on GT7, tunes, or just gaming in general, and overall it's just a good community. As always, thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the next one.